This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Lakewood, Colorado. We're at the Freedom Center. Since 2000, they have been replacing addictive dependency with self-mastery. I'm here with the owner and founder. Let me start off, first of all, back in 2000, what got you involved in this type of industry where you wanted to help folks along?
I've been in the addiction field for over 30 years. And wanted to look at how we could add to what was already being offered. So Freedom Center, we not only offer a lot of traditional treatment approaches, but we also are more natural and holistic as far as with the nutritional approach and using a lot of vitamins and supplements as part of helping people with their brain.
Let me ask you this, why are folks turning to programs like this more than ever before? I mean, back in the day, people would pretty much live with dependencies. Why do you think they're able to reach out now more?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the stigma has changed. There's a lot more education about addiction, that the option of people being able to get well instead of having to live and suffer with it has probably made a big difference. So it's been a lot of evolution over the years in helping people understand alcohol and drug dependency.
Wonderful. When a person thinks of dependency, we're talking about more than just a chemical reaction that's taking place in a body. How important is it that you actually treat the whole body, not only mind and body, but both together? Well,
I mean, addiction affects the body, the mind, the emotional part, definitely affects the relationships, but also affects the spiritual part. So an approach looking at treating overall whole health is what just made the most sense in our minds, where we're addressing all the aspects of where the person's been impacted because of their chemical dependency.
Interesting. Folks that walk through your doors here and they are suffering, let me ask you, have they lost an inner balance, and is that what you're trying to gain back for them?
Well, I mean, they've lost themselves is really what we're talking about. And, you know, the interesting thing about recovery is a lot of times people think recovery is I'm going to get back my job or my wife or my family. And all of these are, you know, aspects of what recovery can offer. But ultimately, especially here at Freedom Center, we know the most important thing is really getting themselves back, who they really are.
So basically, it's beyond sobriety here. We're talking about learning about yourself, learning what got you there in the first place, and basically understanding so you don't go back.
Right. We're very clear in helping people understand what the problem they're dealing with. And the solution we bring forth is drawn from all different disciplines. And then we're real practice at coaching people to be engaged in practices, building those skills to stay clean and sober.
One of the things that really attracted me to your practice here is the fact that, quite honestly, we have proven dependency programs that people have put together, but you have basically combined these new neurosciences, and basically it's kind of unique, is it not?
It is. It's no one is doing put the package together that we've put together. No one in the Front Range area. You find people who will do a lot of the natural amino acid treatment processes, but many times they leave out some of the traditional practices, like the spiritual aspect through the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And then a lot of the traditional programs, they don't really address the brain chemistry being more natural. They'll either won't address it or they'll use psychopharmaceutical drugs. What we find is that by working with people, restoring whole health naturally, that people can feel better faster without all the side effects. So no one has put it together the way we put it together, which is one of the things that makes us very unique here in the Denver area.
You've definitely raised the bar on the mind-body connection.
I think so.
I love that. That's great. Just as basically dependency doesn't affect one part of our body, it also doesn't affect just the individual. Right. Are we talking about family counseling, group counseling? Is that something you provide as well?
Our program is a 90-day program. It's a combination of group and individual counseling, and at times couples counseling. We do have a family component to our program that the dynamics of what happens when you're in a relationship with a chemical dependency problem and how that affects the family member, and the need for the family member to look at what kind of things they can do to better care for themselves so that everyone in the family can get well.
Let me ask you this, as far as, is it many times that older children that get involved or basically need possible intervention for a parent or something like that? On our intervention, something you provide?
I've been providing intervention since 1979. So it's been many, many years, and so we do formal interventions. You know, when we are contacted by a family, we're always, you know, wanting to respond whatever best way we can help. And if intervention is something that we can do, then that's something we step in. I was talking with a mom today, though, brainstorming how we could help get her daughter into treatment without having to do a formal intervention, with the hope that we basically, once again, primary objective is helping people get well. So we do, you know, we do whatever we need to do to help.
More than a science, it actually sounds like an art to me, to a certain degree.
It takes some skill, takes practice,
and many years at it. Let me ask you, you're training these folks to basically take away these chemicals they're putting in their body. What about teaching them to make nutritional good choices as well?
Well, absolutely. We have a full-time nutritionist part of our staff. So she meets with our participants. We call them participants here. And she goes over and talks to them about the most ideal food plan. And the ideal food plan isn't so much pointed towards getting skinny or losing weight, but it's really about restoring total health, primarily pointed towards the brain. And what we find is it's that lifestyle change is probably the biggest challenge for everyone we work with. So we start with wherever they're at. With some of the people, we actually, you know, encourage them to actually start eating, and then we move forward from there. So it's an ongoing, unfolding process where people have to really, you know, get the value of following a healthy diet.
The kind of work that we do here is mostly with people affected by addiction, either family members or the actual people that have the chemical addiction. So my belief is that all those people have trauma, relational trauma. It doesn't have to be like war trauma or something physical trauma necessarily, but that something's happened to them in their developmental growing up that they just don't have healthy relationships for one reason or another. Something happened in their relationships with their caregivers. So we work with the Pia Melody, who's this woman from the Meadows, who created this wonderful system in how to heal people from their childhood trauma. So we use that. And then I've also been trained for many, many years in all kinds of different ways to work with the body, how to have people feel their feelings so they can get through with it, finish things up.
What about the Psych K? What is that all about?
So Psych K is an alternative to using hypnotherapy. We understand that, you know, people make a conscious choice, I want to stop drinking, but if on a subconscious level there is still the psychology that I don't deserve to be sober or I'll never be able to succeed, but it's not in their awareness, they're not conscious of it, well, that subconscious mind will still have an impact that we'll see demonstrated with how successful or not successful. So Psych K is a way of working on the subconscious level without having to put somebody in a hypnotic, unconscious state.
So you can get in the back door and find out what's really going on there, and everyone benefits for that.
And change that subconscious belief system.
This is an outpatient program. Share with us what the first step would be for someone.
Yeah, well, all they would need to do is really give us a call. We have a website that they can also go to, and they can access through our website, or they just give us a call. We have people available really 7 days a week to be responding to whatever the needs are.
Wonderful. And whatever the needs are, folks, once again, that is the Freedom Center here in Lakewood, Colorado, replacing addictive dependencies with self-mastery since the year of 2000. Basically, check a look at the website right there. Their contact information is at the bottom of the screen. What you're going to find on the website there are some of the services they offer, some of the traditional as well as non-traditional techniques that he has employed here, which is quite honestly rare in this industry. And any information that you need is right there at your fingertips, as well as resources. You can click them right there on Facebook. They'll keep you apprised of some of the techniques and tips possibly that you're dealing with, or even your loved ones. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.